While the COVID-19 pandemic has limited face-to-face gatherings and forced field days to go virtual, field crops research at Michigan State University's plant pathology farm continued over the summer.
I think we were somewhat fortunate during this whole COVID thing that our lab was shut down, and we had people work from home, and that was fine for a lot of students with a lot of data to crunch and whatnot. But we were fortunate to keep the field program going, which is really important. If we miss a season, now we're a whole year behind on that research. It's not stuff that we can just put in the freezer and then pull back out when we're ready to go. So very thankful we're able to continue that work.
And that includes monitoring diseases that aren't yet an issue in Michigan, like frogeye leaf spot. The disease has caused problems in other Midwestern states in soybeans, so research is already underway to determine which modes of action provide the best control.
So we have frogeye leaf spot out here in this field. We've actually inoculated it with the pathogen. It's naturally occurring, but we've grown it in the lab and put some out here as well just to push pressure. And we've got a pivot out here as well that we've been running pretty frequently to help push leaf moisture and push disease. We're screening a number of different fungicides for their efficacy to control frogeye leaf spot here. One of the things that's happened recently too, just like in sugar beets, is that this particular Cercospora species is now resistant to the strobilurin or QOI mode of action fungicides. So that's a really big concern, right? Starting to lose fungicide efficacy for some particular mode of action products. So we're keeping an eye on that as well, screening products and see how they do for control of frogeye.
Chilvers says there are some soybean varieties that are more resistant to frogeye than others, which may become more important in the future if we begin to see more of the disease in the state. Meanwhile, in the plant pathology farm's dry bean plot, the focus is on researching root rot resistance.
We're looking at commercial seed treatments and how they're performing to manage some of the root rots. And then we're screening varieties too. So working with the dry bean breeders to try and figure out, how susceptible or resistant are some of the different lines that they're working with. Can they do a better job at breeding for root rot resistance? And then the other part we're looking at too is just trying to understand that root rot complex a bit more. It's difficult working with soil-borne diseases, much harder than foliar diseases. Foliar diseases, we can see what's going on, and I could train you pretty easily to come through and identify what's going on, right? But with soil-borne diseases, very often we have to take things back to the lab, dissect them, isolate to confirm what's going on. And with dry beans, we've got different things like Pythium species, Fusarium species, and Rhizoctonia as well that can do damage and cause root rot. So we're trying to understand that by inoculating with specific pathogens here and seeing how they impact yield and stand. And then, as I said, trying to manage that either through resistance or fungicide seed treatments.